Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us tonight on this lovely Wednesday night. You know how it goes. Now, I will be honest with you, drone news is very thin on the ground at the minute, but we are still going to have a good time anyway. We do have some drone news stories. Tonight, we're joined by Mark. As you may know, this is been going on for nearly a year now. This drone news format is down there, right? So that's all good. If you haven't checked him out, his channel is linked in the stream description down below somewhere. I don't even know. I had a nap and I only woke up about half hour ago. I'm still a little bit cloudy headed, but I will bring myself round there. Mark, would you like to say hello, mate?
Yes, hello everybody. And Steve, we've almost been a year and we haven't been canceled yet, and I think we're being picked up for another season.
Yeah. Apparently
As if you
some
folks have a
multi-million-dollar contracts coming as well. Yeah. Multi-million. I'll be able to afford that Mavic 2. Right?
You might be able to get a new set of clippers.
Oh, I don't need a new set of clippers.
They're working just fine. There you go.
I found the charger. I'm back to convict status again. Yes. Okay. I'm just going to go through the chat. So, like I say, tonight we've got some drone news stories. That's all good. But we are going to be chatting about anything. It's almost like the Saturday show, how it used to be. And that's a good chance for Mark to talk about the Saturday show real quick and promote that. So, do you want to go ahead with that, Mark?
Sure. We have a very unique guest. It would be Kevin Craggs. Craggs is the name of his channel. A guy that I met through Steve and through the Canadian Drone Hub, of course, all circulating around that. And he's very, very big in technology, and he's got a lot of equipment. And I wouldn't call it vlogging, but he does go about and take videos and stuff. And I'm keen to talk to him about the equipment he's been using. So feel free to tune in 5 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. UK time, and I'll of course put the link in the description in the video for the promo for it, so you folks can check them out beforehand. In fact, it wouldn't hurt. I don't have his link now, Steve. Do you have it handy? If you do, throw it in the chat. Maybe
I'll work on that in a moment.
Okay.
I'll just say real quick.
I'll tell you what. I'll do that then while you're doing it.
Yeah, Kev's a very good friend of mine. He goes on I'd say he goes on adventures with us. If it weren't for him and his lovely wife taking me to all these locations, my channel would have about 5 videos, right, of basically anywhere I can get on my push bike. And he does all sorts of great stuff. And he's a really nice dude, really funny as well. This Saturday, we're going to have a really good laugh with him.
Yes, definitely. And I just put his link in the chat, so folks, take a look at him and watch some of his videos, and maybe he'll come. I think it really went well this Saturday with the chat throwing questions left and right. We'd love to keep that up. That's exactly what we were hoping for, is that participation with the chat. So take a look, see if you.
Last Saturday was the interview with Dennis from DGM Films, and that stream was awesome. I had a really good time. I know Dennis did as well. And I'll just say real quick, it was Dennis's birthday yesterday, so I'll just say, if he's watching or watching it back, happy birthday, Dennis. I did speak to you on Facebook, I know, but I'll give you the shout out with honours on the stream and all that lot, because you're an awesome bloke. So right, let's get to this chat and have our little roll call, say hello thing that we do. So Night Train FPV jumped in there with first, right? So thank you for joining us, mate. That's awesome. Newfound Drone Productions, hello there. Tabby Smith, hello, thank you. Well, welcome to the stream. So Brant Aerials, Gary. Yes, Gary was also a guest on the Saturday channel interview stream 2 weeks ago. Awesome guest as well. I mean, I really like this Saturday format you've got going on, Mark. It's really, really good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It actually is, kind of stolen from what you were doing to a certain degree,
that's what YouTube is these days. It's like you see a format you like and you just steal it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, you weren't doing it exactly the same. You were showcasing channels, but we've been looking to figure out how to bring people in and have a chat with them and stuff to our stream, and we figured we'd bring the two together, what you used to do and what we're doing now. So it should be fun.
Yes, Road Warrior or Road Warrior. Hello there. I'll call you Road Warrior because that sounds much better, like Mad Max style, doesn't it? And Road Warrior brought up a good point. Says, "I hate YouTube. It's not letting you go to any of the channels." Now, just check that out real quick, everybody. If you click the little the 3-button bar next to somebody's name, it doesn't actually let you visit their channels. So I think YouTube's experiencing some sort of bug. Usually you can click on that and then there's an option in there to go to whoever's channel it is. So usually we say there's not strictly a support stream or anything, but we do highly recommend visiting other people's channels and all that lot and showing the love and all that lot, let's grow, let's go, all that thing. I know Mike loves that one, that's why I just brought it up. So if it comes to it, just try and type people's names into the YouTube search bar. And I know how ineffective that is at finding channels, but try and support everybody that you see. If you like what you see, support them. Asgard Studios, hello there. Welcome to the stream. I am catching up on the chat. I'm getting there. There we go. Look, Road Warrior says Ariel. It only says report or block. Unfortunately, there's not really anything I can do about that. That's YouTube. It's just, it's as bad as Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, to be fair. It's like that, but worse. Oracles and Beyond. Hello, thank you for joining us. Awesome stuff. Brant Ariel says, didn't Johnny Carson start that format, or did he steal it from Steve Allen? I don't know, mate. I don't even know who they are.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Don't know Johnny Carson. Oh,
yeah.
That's a dagger right in the heart.
I'm not American.
You're not American?
Nope.
Well, it's obvious. If you don't know who Johnny Carson is, then it's obviously you're not American.
Yeah. If it's before 1987, I won't have a clue. Yes. Oh, Lord. Shrimp Shack, hello there. Thank you for joining us. Usually this Wednesday night show is drone news. We have got some drone news, yes. But obviously with the current ongoing international thing, I'm trying not to talk about it too much. I know that it's all over TV and people are coming to YouTube to watch live streams, watch videos, to either find out more about it or avoid it altogether. So because it's not labelled anything to do with it, we're trying not to talk about it basically because we're inundated with all that stuff on mainstream media. You don't want it here, unless it's strictly integral to a news article, like a drone news article. We won't be talking about it because
we'll try not to. Yeah, and if anybody in the chat has a story that they've come across and would like to share with us, we'll drop a link in the chat and we'll take a look at it and bring it up and give you full credit for finding it. So I know Steve and I have been combing it, and it is thin. It is thin at the moment, which is good because at least it's not just drone sightings and near misses and all this crap that we normally hear about. So.
Yes. Also, in the meantime, I am actually working on a new video, Mark.
Oh, no.
Like a video that you actually have to click to upload. Would you believe that?
Oh my God.
It's not a fully fledged video. It's basically just a collection of clips. I'm going to call it the best of outdoor compilation or something.
A montage, if you will.
Yeah, just like a montage of all different behind the scenes clips, drone shots, all sorts of stuff, that hasn't featured in any of the major videos. Right. Just of basically enjoying outside and meeting up with friends. You know,
I
because
have
that's
I
not a
have
thing
three.
at the minute.
Yeah,
So
I myself have 3 projects in the work, and I just can't seem to get motivated to do the editing. To be honest with you,
yeah,
so
yeah. So Shrimp Shack says that video makes me dizzy.
oh, the intro, yeah,
Yeah,
it keeps
yeah,
spinning. Yeah,
yeah. That's all right. Yeah,
we're almost off of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're nearly there, aren't we? Just fast
Yeah.
forward a little bit, you'll catch up. Brant Ariel says, yeah, just report or block, not able to link to the channel with a 3 dot trick. Such is the way. YouTube is a fickle beast. You never quite know when you're going to get a copyright strike. You know what I mean? From experience, I've had one in the past for. I've spoke about this before. The soundtrack to a game, which was literally this Lunar Lander game, and I was live streaming it, and essentially, in the background there was like a beep every sort of 15 or 20 seconds, and I got a full blown copyright strike for playing the game's soundtrack. It was literally just a beep every 15 seconds. That's the game's soundtrack, Mark, so that's copyright.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
my goodness.
I mean, and I got a strike for using Epidemic Sound that I'm a customer of, and they put a strike against me, and I had to email both them and YouTube saying, I'm a customer. I pay for the service. Why am I getting a copyright strike? And they're like, oh yeah, sorry, our bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Shrimp Shack, I can't recall where I met you. Was it through Rattle Trap Fishing? You know, because I was in Rattle Trap Fishing's live stream in the chat last night, and I met a few new channels and all that lot. Awesome stuff. Thank you for joining us. And there's a few new faces in tonight, man.
Yes,
Awesome
absolutely.
stuff. Yes, Jackson RC Aviation says, "Great day to you." Yes, indeed. This is brilliant. Lovely. A Wednesday night. Right, are we going to get into a drone news story, Mark?
Why not? That's what we're
Yeah.
here about, isn't it?
Yes. I'm not trying to pad the show out, honest. Okay. Right, I'll start with a story then. So
Okay.
Here we go. Okay. Over to my first story. Woohoo. Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
There we go. Yeah. So this one is from Gothamist, which is a strange website name, I guess. So I'll paste the link in the chat. You know, we always give credit where credit's due. And this is, there we go. Shrimp Shack says, remember Billy Bass from the 90s? Yes, I do. I can't remember what song it used to sing, actually. But Billy Bass was like a huge thing in the 90s, wasn't it? Do you know what that is, Mark?
It rings a bell, but
It's like a plaque with like a fish mounted on it, and there's a button. There's a button you press, and I think one of the songs it did was like "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I think.
yeah, and then he would be animated. He would
flap his tail and all that lot.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, mate. Thank you for that blast from the past. Yeah. Okay, so the story is then FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration. Am I correct there, Mark?
Yep.
Okay, good. Anti-COVID-19 volunteer drone filmed admonishing people in New York City. So there we go. I don't think that's the drone, but that's possibly some stock image. So this week, Governor Andrew Cuomo, is that how you pronounce his name, Mark?
Yes, it is. You're
Okay.
doing well.
Yeah. Once again stressed the importance of social distancing, singling out New York City residents in particular for their laxness in following the guidelines and increasing fines for those breaking the rules. But it isn't just Cuomo scolding people for not maintaining adequate social distance. At least one citizen has sent a drone out to remind people to stay apart and slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. In quotes, this is the anti-COVID-19 volunteer drone task force announced a drone filmed hovering over East River Park on Saturday. Please maintain a social distance of at least 6 feet. Again, please maintain social distancing. Please help stop the spread of the virus. Reduce the death toll and save lives. For your own safety and your family's safety, please maintain social distancing. Thank you for the cooperation. We're all in this together. So, yeah, there we go. This is a video from CBS News. Do I want to play that? Probably not, because, you know, I'll probably get slapped or something. But this is the clip. Obviously, I've provided the link in there. I'll re-provide the link now, because it's a bit further up in the chat. I don't know whether you're on mobile devices or anything like that. So it says, watch, a drone was seen flying over a Manhattan park on Saturday, urging pedestrians to maintain social distancing. So no one in particular has come forward to claim credit for operating the drone, and the NYPD confirmed with Gothamists that they were not involved with it, although the NYPD has also been monitoring social distancing from the skies as well with their own drones. We've seen a lot of stories like that of law enforcement, especially in China, using drones with speakers to, you know, berate people who are out when they shouldn't be. So the Hill reports that the FAA is now investigating whether the unknown operator had registered the drone and has the certificate needed to fly it. The NYPD has a special task force to police drone infractions and also a fleet of its own crime-fighting drones, but local law enforcement must defer to FAA regulations. We've reached out to the FAA for comment. It is not legal to fly drones over large parts of the city, including almost all of Manhattan. There we go. So I'm not going to read all the rest of that because it's just going off, you know, all about social distancing and whatnot. You know, it's just going on about how people aren't following the rules and all that lot. So that's a bit of a weird one, and obviously this guy is using his drone to basically berate people, and now I've seen numerous posts on social media, literally, right, you know, it is, the mind boggles, of literally a picture in like a public area somewhere with like some little rant that someone's put on, like, look at all these people here, not, you know, they're not following the rules, blah blah blah. And you just get the killer comment underneath, well, why were you out taking pictures of it all?
Yeah, exactly.
Like exactly. Really? Are you moaning? You're doing the exact same thing, you're a hypocrite. You know, right. You know, and how else did you get that picture? You know, and this guy says, go on, mate, sorry.
I was going to say, Brant says that he thinks it's drone X Factor. That was the guy flying the Mavic 2 Enterprise. Okay. And if that's the case, wasn't he also the guy, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to accuse him, and somebody correct me, wasn't he also the gentleman who lost his drone going to video the bridge demolition, and he flew into a no-fly zone, and it forced him to land in the water, and he blamed DJI for losing his drone for flying into a restricted area. And I don't know if it is the same guy.
If that was the same guy, he actually flew into like a timed flight restriction zone. Yeah, and as he was in the zone, the flight restriction geofence thing kicked in. Yeah. And then the drone started auto landing within the zone. Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yes, that's the exact same one. Yeah. It was a bridge that was being demolished, and he should have known better because demolition areas are going to have a restricted no-fly zone. And he got into it, and it forced him to land. And he blamed DJI. I was trying to get DJI to buy him to send him a new drone, and that wasn't going to happen.
Yes. And look who just joined us in the chat. It's
Eagle.
It's our good old pal Eagle VP. Yes, indeed.
No, you didn't emphasize one of the words in there like you normally would.
Oh, but we're not going to crack. Our good old pal. Yes.
Yes. Sorry, Keith.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Sorry, Eagle. Sorry, I'm live, Eagle. Right. You know. Yeah. But there's Eagle another VP. Story. Eagle VP is absolutely awesome, really good dude, and I'd say go check his channel out, but at the minute that function's not working, so don't. Eagle VP, I don't know if you know, mate, but at the minute YouTube is experiencing some technical difficulties, and you can't actually click that thing next to someone's name and visit the channel. and it was there we go. Let me just find it. It was Road Warrior who brought that up as well. Eagle VP says behave. Brant Ariel has put the video link up there, so thank you very much for that, Gary. I'll put that in a tab there, and I'm not going to play the video, although it did just sort of. There we go. Have a look on there. Drone X Factor. Yeah, it looks like this guy's done it. Look, 71 dislikes. Yeah, not good. So obviously, if you want to check that video, I didn't know that it posted a video of it. April 5th, yeah, so a few days ago. I'm a little bit behind the times. Time has no meaning anymore, right?
No,
you know. But that is the video there. I can't play any of it, obviously. It played like a second of it. I'm not going to get a copyright strike for that. But yeah, that's crazy. Why anybody would do that? Sort of self-righteous, you know, all that lot, you know. And the thing is now, it's turning into bloody Nazi Germany, you know what I mean? Like where you sort of, everyone's grassing on the neighbours to the bloody Gestapo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It was
That's
renting
what it's
each
like.
other
And
out.
the police in the UK are actually encouraging that. You know, say if you know that someone, your next door neighbour's had a visitor, for example, or they're going out when they shouldn't. They're saying ring the non-emergency number and report them. You're like, what, you want me to be a snitch?
Yeah,
Nah, I don't do things like that. Even if I don't agree with something, I'm not going to ring the police about it.
Yeah, it's above my pay grade.
There's sort of like a code of honour, you know what I mean? It's like...
I just say that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, am I on payroll? No.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Am I some sort of police informant? No. Okay, well, you know, and this is a similar thing to what we discussed a few weeks ago, Mike, wasn't it, with people reporting people for doing things when it has really nothing to do with them at all. And this is the thing. People, at the minute, people are feeling quite entitled, I think, and obviously people have got a lot more time on their hands than they used to have. There's a lot of curtain twitching as well, you know, sort of spying out your window.
We have too much time on our hands, so people are thinking about interesting and bizarre things to do to occupy our time, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. So, Brant Ariel says today is Blair's Day. Every day is Blair's Day. Yes, indeed. Eagle VP says, I reached 3K on Puce's live stream yesterday, then lost 4 today. Oh, unlucky Eagle. You know, that's just the way it goes, mate, unfortunately. My numbers are up and down anywhere from 2 to 5 every day. You know, but I always balance at around the same number, so it's, I don't know. Cryptid559, hello there, hello everybody. Cryptid, I'd love to throw my tinfoil hat on, mate, because I know a bit of juicy information at the minute, and I don't, you know, I can't really substantiate it, but I'd love to give my take on that. But, well, such is the way. I can't really talk about it at the minute. I don't really want to either, but I kind of do, but I can, and I don't want to, but I do. You know, one of them. You know, we haven't quite got all the information or all the proof, but don't worry, the truth will come out, and at some point I will talk about this stuff. Yes, kind of conspiracy theory-ish. Yeah, okay.
Now I'm gonna piggyback on your story for a quick second, because something was mentioned on the Canadian Drone Hub last night. He went live really late last night. I was working and half listening. Actually, I was playing a game and half listening. I wasn't working, to be honest. But apparently somebody in the States cannot confirm where, but it was mentioned that got a few $1,000 fine. I want to say 8,000, but that might be a little hefty. I know a lot of areas have shut down parks to the public, although they'll let you go for a walk through the park, but you're not allowed to spend any inordinate amount of time in the park. Like, you're not supposed to be sitting on park benches. So if you're going out for a walk or jog and you pass through the park, it's fine. This gentleman apparently was driving an RC car. And although he didn't get fined for driving the RC car in the park, he did get fined for being in the park and not using it and using the park when it was supposedly closed. So pay close attention to your local rules and regulations, folks. You may be by yourself, but if the park is closed, You don't want to be there for any inordinate amount of time. You want to be passing through it, and that's it. Because apparently this guy got a pretty hefty fine. So just pay attention to those kind of things.
Obviously, I'm in a lot of Facebook drone groups and all that lot, and I don't have the article saved or anything like that. But I will give you the rundown of what it was. Some guy was at his local park during lockdown. He'd gone for a walk. He took his drone with him, and he just wanted to fly for 5 or 10 minutes. And basically, in the UK, we got what are called plastic pigs, which are like PCSOs that they're sort of like police but without police powers. They're like, like that's why they're called plastic pigs.
We call them meter maids here.
Yeah, something along them lines. And one of them came over basically, you shouldn't be out flying. And he was like, well, I'm out doing my 1 hour exercise, and I just wanted to have 5 minutes when we droned like halfway through, and then another 20 minutes, and I'll go home. And it's sort of like it's polarized the drone community. Like, is drone flying like kind of exercise? If you go and stay crazy at home and whatever, is it okay? It all depends on the circumstance, but who knows? But obviously it's a similar thing. At the minute, I'd recommend not flying your drone out in public.
Don't give them an excuse.
Don't give anyone the excuse. Yeah, as simple as that, innit? Brant Ariel says, just stay home and watch YouTube. Yes. Yes, indeed. So I think we've covered that story, Mark. Would you like to switch to yours?
Absolutely. Let me not drop the ball, and I will paste this into chat. Okay, so this is kind of an update on drone delivery. I know that we've beaten this up, but I found this interesting. UPS chooses another drone maker for delivery fleet. First of all, there's a company called Matternet, in which I just I put their. I'm not going to put their address in, but this is I believe a Swiss company that they originally went with, but have since changed to a German company. It says UPS drone subsidiary UPS Flight Forward today said it would collaborate with German drone maker Wingcopter to develop the next generation of package delivery drones for a variety of use cases in the United States and internationally. UPS chose Wingcopter, a transport drone pioneer, for its unmanned aircraft technology and its track record in delivering a variety of goods over long distances in multiple international settings. Drone delivery is not a one-size-fits-all operation, said Bala Ganesh, a vice president of the UPS Advanced Technology Group. Our collaboration with Wingcopter helps pave the way for us to start drone delivery service in the use cases. UPS Flight Forward is building a network of technology partners to broaden our unique capability to serve customers and extend our leadership in drone delivery. As part of this collaboration, UPS FF's first new relationship with drone manufacturers since its formation, both companies will work towards earning regulatory certification for a Wingcopter unmanned aircraft to make commercial delivery flights in the United States. It also is a critical step towards building a diverse fleet of drones with varying capabilities to meet ever more potential customer needs. And I'm not going to read the entire article. It's not that much more, but there's a picture, I'm assuming, of the drone that they're looking at. It's a fixed wing. I don't know if it's a VTOL or not. I would think it is, the way that tail is shaped. I don't know if it can land like that, but again, I don't think any company is set on any one drone at this point in time. We've seen these things morph, I think, more so than they change their minds like the wind changes, apparently, with these drones. We've seen all different types of drones, and yet they haven't settled on any one. Maybe this will be the one that they use. But I had to do a little research on this because I thought for sure that UPS was switching drone companies, because I thought maybe the first drone company was Asian based, and here in the States they've sort of discouraged that, but no, I'm glad I looked it up. Matternet is a Swiss company that they were using. Although, if you go to, and this is interesting, if you go to Matternet's website, they say that they, let's see if that's, they have systems. They don't say that they manufacture them. Okay, but so I found that interesting. But there may be some connection, but I don't want to speculate at this point without any further research. But it was a Swiss company they were with, and now they're with a German company. So have a look at the article. Again, keep an eye on this drone delivery. I've yet to see one deliver something to my house. It's still a good old fashioned UPS truck came to my door today and delivered something. So we don't have drone delivery here yet. So excellent. So Eagles found a way. He's now followed Shrimp Shack. I guess, again, the only way to do that right now is to just type the name into the YouTube search box and see if you can find them. You know, and we appreciate if you guys are willing to support each other. Again, not a support stream, but we're willing to help the cause. And I'm not going to say the phrase. We'll just leave it at that.
Let's grow, let's go.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is the catchphrase that just gets under my skin. I don't know why. But I just got the chills, and they're not the good ones either.
Yeah. Whenever anybody says that on YouTube, Mark shivers. Gets that weird.
Let's go, let's grow.
Yeah. Brant Ariels says the stream's buffering a bit. Will somebody else in the chat let me know if that's the same case for them, please?
I'm watching it. It's jittery, but it's not buffering. It's a little shaky. It's almost like it's dropping a frame or two. Yeah. I could see it. So it's blurry. I think that could be because of the traffic on the internet these days. I don't know, or the use of YouTube.
I'm uploading 7,000 kilobits a second. It's all green here with 0 drop frames. So
yeah,
I don't know what the issue is. There's nothing I can do to fix it. It's the same settings I always use.
Yeah, I think it's just the overuse of the internet.
Having the missing go to channel button as well. I think it might be something to do with YouTube, possibly.
I just spoke too soon. It just started buffering for me.
Eagle VP says it's okay this end. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to know, that's all, because if I can, I want to get it right while we're streaming.
I don't think you have any control over this. I think it's just the bottleneck that we're experiencing on the internet right now.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, Matt? I'm just gonna go off topic 1 second. I did say it'd be quite general chatty this stream.
I'm glad you're bringing it up.
There was an article in the UK news about 7 or 8 days ago. Basically, this film guru mogul thing was basically saying that online gaming is the single biggest threat to internet bandwidth during the lockdown, and it's going to ruin people's lives who are having to work from home online, which made me absolutely cringe, because I know that that's not the case. And it turns out, all the UK newspapers picked up on this, urging gamers to not play during daytime business hours, right? Because they just took his word for it and didn't do any background fact checks. And then it turns out this guy is actually on the payroll for Netflix and Disney Plus to promote live streaming services. Now, the funny thing is, online gaming uses in 1 hour, right? 1 hour, 50 megabytes to 300 megabytes an hour, right? Online streaming of Netflix or Disney Plus, up to 7,000 megabytes an hour. So this guy wants people to stop online gaming, pay for Netflix or Disney Plus subscriptions, right, and then stream on the internet at any time of the day using 20 times as much bandwidth as online gaming would.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Hypocrite.
That doesn't make any sense. But I actually thought to myself, it's a double-edged sword, because not only if people aren't gaming, they're going to be paying for the Netflix and Disney Plus subscriptions, but for two, if they're not gaming, then that'll free up bandwidth for these bandwidth hogging, video streaming services. And don't get me wrong, YouTube's one of them as well. YouTube's probably the biggest, but already YouTube, by default, during the lockdown and everything, by default now, most videos start off quality wise at 720p. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
You have to
I noticed
manually
it's gone
change
down.
it if you want higher quality. Just so by default, most people viewing will be on old computers, mobile phone screens, things like that. And 720p will do them fine. They don't need 1080p, 2K, 4K, whatever. So if you want it, just make sure that when you watch a video that's meant to be high quality, just check your settings and put it on, on 1080p or 4K or whatever your device will support. Because by default, it's not 1080p anymore. Just for the moment. But basically, this guy really boiled my blood because UK newspapers picked up on it, and it's been thoroughly debunked. But still, I'm going to mention Gatwick. Once a story gets out there, no matter how disproved it gets, there's people who do not follow up on where a story went. So once something's mentioned in the news, loads of people think it's true and correct, and then they don't realise it's been debunked. So they'll keep on with that narrative, and that in itself spreads like a disease in a way, of just false information.
Right.
And then they'll tell 10 people that, and then tell 10 people, and only one or two of them now and again would go, no, that was disproved, but false information spreads like that. So, guy who's slamming online gaming, you're fake news, mate. Get out of town, jog on. Yeah, I'll online game if I want to. Simple as that. Everybody is paying through the nose for these high-spec, high-speed internet connections with unlimited use, in the UK. I'm going to use it however I like. And if online gaming's one of them things, I'm going to online game. You can stick your Netflix and your Disney Plus where the sun don't shine, because I'm not paying for that crap. Right, okay. That's my rant over.
Now, just for fun, I went to the settings here, and I'm streaming at 360p, and if I try to choose anything above it, it won't load.
Oh.
So it's down to 360 now. I tried to do 1080. No, tried to do 7. What else we got here? 720, 480, 360. I had to reload, and it always defaults to 360 right now. So I don't know if anybody else is seeing that, but yeah, that could be a reason why it's looking pretty choppy too, Gary. That they've reduced the quality, I think, to reduce the bandwidth. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
speculating. I'll be honest. In the stream window I've got open, it's 1080p flawless, mate. On my stream I've got open here. So
I mean, my computer's keen enough to handle 1080p, but I can't even get 480 on mine right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the servers we're working through. I'm not so sure, but yeah, I cannot get 1080p. Okay. And I know for a fact Night Train says he's viewing at 1080, and he and I have the same machine. His is pre-upgrade, unless you've upgraded it recently, Night Train. We had the same computer, and then I went and upgraded mine. I can't get anything higher. That's weird.
I'm viewing it in 1080p.
Yeah, maybe it's on my other monitor, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think at the minute YouTube must be having some issues or server maintenance or something, because the go to channel button's not working, and a load of people are all giving me different resolutions they're getting. YouTube must be under maintenance or something, so I do apologise for that, but it is out of my control, unfortunately.
Gary
really
says
much I can do about it. Sorry.
Gary says we're being throttled in more ways than one, buddy. More ways than one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm getting flawless this end, completely green. 7,000 kilobytes with very little fluctuation and 0 drop frames. I've not dropped a single frame, so
nice.
My machine is delivering 1080p, 30 frames a second without missing a beat. So YouTube's obviously messing something up along the line.
Right.
So yes, there we go. That's my thoughts on that.
Okay, there you go.
Yes. Just a quick show of hands in the chat. Has anybody bought Disney Plus?
I've had Disney Plus since it started. So I know.
Disney Plus. Yeah, and basically this guy online was like trying to shame online gamers for playing during business hours in the day. Yeah. While at the same time pushing Netflix and Disney Plus, which uses 20 times the bandwidth.
Right. That's how.
Really?
How obvious did he really think nobody was going to catch on to that?
It was blatant.
Yeah.
Now,
blatant.
Here's a funny one for you. During this lockdown that's going on, I've found a use for my broken Mavic Pro. I'm going to switch to just the dual cam before we get on to another drone story. And obviously, I smoke cigarettes, but this is my Mavic Pro now. It's my cigarette holder. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That. You like that?
Hysterical. I
can fit 40 rolled cigarettes in there.
That is a very expensive cigarette case you got there, buddy.
That just sits on the table like that, and whenever I want a cigarette, look, they're just right there.
Asgard says he watched The Mandalorian, then he canceled Disney Plus.
Yes. The Mandalorian is very good.
I've been watching it every now and again.
But it's not worth the price of a Disney Plus subscription. You can cram it. Yeah. Oh my God, I am real salty tonight. I was even more salty the other night. I don't know why, but never mind. Yeah, right. I'll switch back to my stories there.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully you got a little laugh out of my Mavic Pro cigarette holder. Yeah. Bearing in mind this thing is hammered. It's probably never going to fly again. I'll just keep it around. It's just like an expensive ornament, and basically a reminder not to fly like an idiot and show off. Yeah. So. It serves its purpose. Okay. So this one's from BBC News, and you all know how much I love the BBC for how accurately they reported on the Gatwick situation. Still to this day, haven't fully acknowledged that there was in the wrong. Even though the thing is with Gatwick, they actually put out a full Horizon video. BBC Horizon is like this TV show that explores like current affairs, scientific theories, all sorts of stuff, and they called it the Gatwick drone attack 1 year on or something like that. And in that they even admitted, most likely there wasn't drones there, but it was still called the Gatwick drone attack, and the BBC still stick with that narrative. And so does everybody else, because they don't know the information that's come out since. Simple as that. Anyway, that's enough about that bloody Gatwick.
Just had to say the G word a couple times, didn't you? Get out of your system.
On the news earlier, at Gatwick, obviously all flights are landed, all that lot. And there was actually a drone shot of over Gatwick, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm surprised someone ain't gone, oh no. That's why all the planes are grounded. Yeah, Asgard Studio says best cigarette holder. Yeah, look at that beast, man. That is awesome. That, isn't it? I really like that. It holds them really, really well.
Yes, it's almost like perfect size for it.
It is. It's nice.
Well, now you're gonna have cigarette delivery by drone if you keep this up.
Oh, no, yeah. So Asgard Studios, thank you for that comment, mate. Brant Ariel says they should fill the de-icing trucks with Lysol and hose everything down. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but I don't know how well it works.
He's got icons of hand sanitizer, for crying out loud. That's freaking hysterical.
Oh dear. They've actually done a hand sanitizer emoji.
Oh my God!
That'll be why YouTube's lagging. they've added new emojis, and it's broke the code.
Breaking news: new emojis, hand sanitizer, and toilet paper. I've seen that one up there. Might as well throw the toilet paper one up there while you're at it.
I'm gonna have to rename the stream after this to "Breaking News: Hand sanitizer emoji breaks YouTube." Oh dearie me. Yeah, right. The link is there, the BBC News article. Sorry if I keep going off topic. I'm just having fun, you know.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Being shut in all the time really don't bother me, but you know, it does sort of make you go a bit stir crazy, doesn't it? And you just sort of want to have a good time. And obviously, drone news is fairly thin on the ground. I did put like a little warning at the start of the stream that it was going to be quite general chat-ish, you know, with drone news peppered in, and that's the way I like it at the minute. Brant Aerials has found the toilet and the toilet roll emoji. Yeah, or toilet paper, should I say. Well, no, that's a CD.
Although at this point in time, it looks like it's, yeah, but who the hell knows what a CD is these days? Generation X doesn't. So it might as well be a toilet paper roll.
Yeah. Okay. So coronavirus, should the UK use drones to disinfect public spaces? So right here, look, an XAG drone flown over a children's play park in China. So a group of drone experts is calling on the UK government to relax regulations on chemical spraying from the air during the coronavirus pandemic. It wants to train drone pilots from the emergency services to spray public areas with disinfectant. It's been done in China and India, but aerial spraying is largely banned in Europe. The drones can cover large areas, but there is debate around whether the method is effective. The Department of Health and Social Care said there were no plans to disinfect outside on a large scale. The expert advice is that disinfecting outdoor spaces would not be an effective use of resources, a spokesman said. We want to focus our efforts and resources on measures which have been recommended by scientific experts to have the most benefit in protecting the NHS and saving lives. At the moment, Public Health England advises decontamination only where there has been possible or confirmed case of the virus. The Health and Safety Executive did not comment. The Civil Aviation Authority, which oversees drone flight safety, said it was not involved in the decision. Now, the perspective of that shot, that looks like it's massive, that drone.
Yes, it does.
It's like it shows how much perspective matters in photos, and that almost looks like a ladder. If you put that on grayscale, like it'd actually look a little bit like a scene from the moon missions, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So drone pilots will be more protected than people walking the streets or driving vans with spray equipment because they'll be further away, said Jonathan Gill from Harper Adams University in Shropshire, who has spent 4 years researching spray drones used on farm crops in several countries outside of Europe. The spray drones would keep people away from dull, dirty, dangerous jobs, he said. The disinfectant would likely drift from its target and travel further than intended, he said, but other forms of distributing disinfectant will do the same, and specialists have calculated the best type of nozzle and droplet size to target hard surfaces. Doing something is better than doing nothing, he added. So I'm gonna, obviously there is more to it, but we did cover that, previously in China, DJI and all these other drones that have been converted to spray areas with disinfectant. This is just the UK weighing up whether it's a good idea. Now, we did speak about that, Mark, about the drones in China, which are actually spraying disinfectant on the side of like high-rise buildings.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, I did report on that, and they too are trying to weigh out the effectiveness, and we all agree that 30 floors up doesn't really need to be sprayed. And is the coronavirus even in existence that high up in the altitude, or that does it get that high? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm not a scientist.
The impression that the only surfaces that mattered were ones that were going to get like human skin contact.
Yeah, anything that gets moisture from human, because apparently it's not airborne unless it's aerosol, and that means in droplets of moisture of some way, shape, or form. So it's not like something that's like a spore floating around in the air and connecting to things. It's got to be transmitted by some sort of moisture, and way up there, I on my best sneeze, I might hit the second floor. To worry about the 18th floor on a high-rise building, I don't know. I'm speculating that it's just some drone company trying to exploit the coronavirus for their business and trying to convert the drones so that they can get work from this I don't know. That's just me being a pessimist in this situation. But I'm not a scientist. Granted, I hope they keep doing the research. I don't know if it's going to be effective or not.
Yeah, fair enough. And neither am I, to be fair. I think you're better off just sending in one or two people just with a bottle of like spray bleach, just with a few cloths, and just wiping down like handrails, things like, you know, the touch areas. You know?
Interior surfaces are going to hold it much more, going to hold on to that virus much more than the outside glass, let's say. Again, on the 30th floor.
There is a reason why, you know, across the European Union and everything, spraying disinfectant and things like that into the air is illegal for the most part, because you could be causing more harm than good by having disinfectant particles in the air in public areas. That's probably going to do more damage to people's lungs in the short term anyway, possibly even the long term, than actually catching the virus. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like anything in the high enough dose is going to do harm to you, you know. So if you're walking along and out of nowhere a drone comes out and there's like a green cloud of disinfectant coming out, like, is that safe actually? You know?
Sometimes the cure is more dangerous than the culprit, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
surely it's better just to send a team in, you know, all suited up and just disinfect the areas that need it, you know?
Yeah, that's where companies are going to make their money if they're going to make anything off of this. It's like, it just reminds me of the whole situation where you had hazmat teams that would be trained, not hazmat teams, but people who would be trained to get rid of asbestos. You know, you may be seeing companies that specialize in disinfecting the internals of an office building, and you hire them, they come in, they wipe everything down, but that's the area that's going to be more affected. So, does gin kill COVID? Nobody. But you can sure as hell try there, Gary.
Yeah. Now, apparently, any alcohol solution above 65% will.
Yeah.
But generally, spirits are 40% or less.
Yeah.
So, no, they wouldn't. But
yeah. But give it a try anyway, Gary.
Yeah.
It's not going to help when it's inside of you, though.
No. But for anybody who plays guitar, randomly, you know, I do play guitar from time to time. If you get a damp cloth, you know, just a little bit of water in there, basically get a shot glass with some gin, just sort of put the cloth over it, tip it so you get a bit of gin on there, and clean your strings with it on your guitar. Great tip, it'll keep them pristine clean. Yeah, gin, funnily enough, not vodka or whiskey, gin. Gin's perfect for it, and it makes them smell really nice as well. Yeah,
a little bit of
you
juniper.
learn something new every day, don't you?
Nothing wrong with a little bit of juniper. And Gary says I've tried drowning myself with rum.
Yes. Oh, Grant Aerials, yeah, that's what I do on a weekly basis, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about that, make sure you tune into next week's interview with Craigs, because Craigs and Steve get together from time to time, and I do believe you go through a little bit.
Not during the lockdown.
No, not during the lockdown, but prior to the lockdown, you'd get together and partake of the, shall we say, the pirate's choice of spirit.
Yeah. Oh, there's just something about rum, isn't there? Oh, I just love it, especially spiced rum.
Oh yeah.
Brant Ariel says we used to call lemon gin panty remover.
Gee, I don't understand, Gary. You want to explain that one to me?
I think he means probably lemon gin's like I assume it's like more of an effeminate kind of drink. So if you wanna maybe get someone, I nearly swore then. Let's call it SHIT faced and suggestible. Then you use lemon gin.
No, there you go.
But you've got to walk the line between suggestible and creepy, right? You know, and being a creep about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the word Mickey comes into conversation at that point.
Yeah. I know it's only a joke. You know, all different drinks have different nicknames, don't they?
Gary's good though. It's just teasing him.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah. There's a drink in the UK called Stella. Have you ever heard of that, Mark?
Well, there's a beer called Stella Artois, but I don't know
That's
what.
the one, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
in the UK, essentially it used to be 5.2% beer, and it would come in these big pint cans. And basically, whenever you hear of any news story about some domestic incident, it usually involves people were drinking Stella, right?
Oh,
So
jeez.
its nickname in the UK for many years and still to this day is wife beater.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah, and
awful.
to a point where they really wanted to change the image of it, and they actually brought it down to like 4.9% or something like that,
Ooh,
because
big drop. Big
that
drop.
makes a huge difference,
Big
right?
drop.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but that's it, and I love Stella. It's really really nice, but
I can't say that I've actually had it, but I know it's on tap quite a few places around here.
yeah.
So they've
Oh,
advertised a
the
lot here.
Asgard Studio says lemon gin must have been Harvey Weinstein's
Oh,
drink of choice.
oh no, I don't even think he bothered with it.
Yeah, okay. I do like a good joke, but we're walking a fine line with that one. Yeah, I like
You,
it. Keep them
you,
coming.
yeah, that's a good one to you. Good one to you.
Okay, Mark, over to your next story, mate.
Yep,
Let's have
yep,
it.
yep. No, it's sad, but one of the stories I have is on COVID. But it's in UAS magazine. It's a good story though. It's something a bit more, I think, credible than spraying exteriors of buildings with disinfectant. It says 1 ton drone delivery glider could provide COVID relief. Yates Electroscape Corp has announced the launch of a civilian subsidiary, Avius air delivery to provide immediate air response for humanitarian relief efforts, natural disasters, and pandemics such as the current COVID-19. So this just happens to be a case where this particular technology could be used. It's basically a 1 ton military resupply glider, and they call it I guess they call it the Silent Arrow. So essentially, there's a picture there. I think loaded with supplies, it weighs approximately 1 ton. Now, I found this interesting because, yeah, 1 ton device. I mean, to power that thing to get it to take off and land, the engine's got to be ridiculously powerful. But in this case, I would assume it attaches and then it's set loose, and then somebody glides it into where it needs to be, remote locations and stuff. So it's not a quadcopter, it's not a powered drone by any stretch of the imagination, but it is basically just an empty hull that has supplies, fixed wing glider, and I find that a unique way of delivering stuff in this case for COVID, whether it's supplies for symptoms or just food, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Who knows what it's going to be? But Silent Arrow's tightly integrated packing with its unique spring deploying wing system transported inside the fuselage, 40-mile standoff distance and low unit cost, has received enthusiastic reception from the U.S. and foreign militaries and is now being launched as Avius air delivery to directly serve humanitarian and disaster relief needs throughout the world. So again, connected to the COVID virus, yes, unfortunately, it is integral to our discussion. It is drone related. Found this one of the more unique designs, and that's what I like when I'm doing the research. Is anything that's different. I'd like to feature on the news, and I found this to be the first time I've seen a remote piloted glider being used for something in this case. Now, apparently they've been using it, but now they're showcasing it for the COVID supply relief efforts and such. So, yeah, kind of a neat little story. Quick one there, but nice use of a drone, and more power to them. So,
So you're saying that's actually a glider?
yes, the one that apparently this air person here is servicing right now. It's a glider, so it's wings. Okay, now if you recall, I can't think of the name of the military ordnance missiles, but essentially they drop out of an airplane, their wings snap open, and then they take off. But they're jet propelled, and then they glide these things into wherever they're going to bomb. This essentially has a similar design where it's basically packed up like a little missile, and then when it's dropped, the wings spread out, and then whoever's in control takes over and glides it to where it needs to go. So that's the way that this thing is delivered. So it's like a missile of goodies, so to speak.
Kind of like an unguided guided bomb.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of,
exactly.
yeah. But obviously,
Exactly.
if it's got onboard like circuitry and that, it can glide its way in.
Right, right. And who knows? Maybe the technology is so that it's automated and can find its way there. The question I have, and they don't go into much detail about it. I guess they do have a packing list here. They have 3,500 flu virus vaccines, 22 gauge 1-inch needle syringe, blah blah blah. 336 meals ready to eat. They go through a list of things that can be packed inside of here, but what I don't see mention is whether or not this thing is automated or whether it's guided by an actual pilot. But it may say that in there somewhere. It's a very short article. Have a read. I did post it in the chat. Yes, I did. And it says the Mercy 2000 spring open wing design also allows it to be carried inside and air cargo transport aircraft and rotary craft such as the C-17, C-130, CH-53, so forth and so on, Skyvan and others, where deployment from 25,000 feet results in the wings springing open to their 28-foot total wingspan, giving up to a 40-mile standoff distance. So at that height, it can travel over 40 miles to get to where it needs to get, which I find interesting. But it doesn't say, oh, here we go. Silent Arrow is considered a precision-guided bundle and competes directly with Joint Precision Airdrop Systems at less than half the cost and more than double the glide ratio. So it is somewhat precision guided, but again, how is it done electronically, or do they have a pilot, or is it both? They have a pilot as a backup in case. Don't know, but interesting device nonetheless. So.
Yeah,
So it could be used for other things. It isn't just for COVID. They've had this in the works for a while, but now they're getting ready to use it for remote areas that need supplies such as food and vaccines and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So
it is quite amazing just how drones and whatever, even the military type drones and military technologies and stuff, are getting repurposed for good purposes. You know, I'm quite liking that at the minute.
Yeah, it's a nice little story.
Yeah. Also, at the minute, there's been a lot of aircraft activity above Lincolnshire recently, including the lovely AWACS plane. Flies from RAF Waddington. Do you know one of them big like Boeing planes with the big like black oblate sphere on the top? You know, you seen one of them before, Mark?
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's two of them that fly from RAF Waddington, which is, you know, say 50 to 100 miles away from me, but they have a huge operating radius, and they're used as like electronic warfare. So like when they're in the air, they can like jam radar signals and things like that. There's been some joint forces operations with UK and US Air Force over the River Humber, where they like to do joint forces training operations and that. So today's been a loud day in Lincolnshire.
Oh, I bet.
It's been very loud with several sonic booms. You just hear them come out of nowhere, you know, the fast jets. You just sat there eating your dinner, and then out of nowhere you just hear, whoop, you know, whereas one of them just gone into supersonic. And you're like, I'd love to get out there and watch them in action.
Yeah, right.
But I can only go as far as my garden. You know? Oh.
Yeah, right.
Oh. Yeah. You know how I like my jets and my aircraft.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that stuff, you know. And yeah, I always enjoy watching the RAF and the US Air Force doing the training operations and that. Lincolnshire's known for having all these air bases and that, including RAF Scampton, which is home of the Red Arrows, considered to be like the best aeroplane display team in the world.
Right.
And that is about a 45-minute drive away from where I am, but you often see the Red Arrows doing training and everything. And the Red Arrows last year did a full tour of the US. Did you see that, Mark?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
They actually. I'm going to be a bit. Use a little bit of my national pride here. So you're saying they're better than the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds that we have here in the States?
It is commonly said, yes.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. No,
all I know is they're all impressive as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. The thing is, the Blue Angels, I believe, they fly F-15s, I believe, but the Red Arrows fly F-4s, which are much smaller aircraft and a lot more manoeuvrable. So the manoeuvres that the Red Arrows do are usually a lot tighter together when they're in the air. Yeah, just as a general rule. Last year the Red Arrows did a full tour of the US and Canada as well, with the Snowbirds of Canada and also the Blue Angels of the US. I believe they're actually a division of the Navy, I believe.
Yes, they are. Blue Angels are Navy.
And did like a joint display with them all across the US. Cool. So really impressive stuff. And what I'll do is I'll have a look, because there's a lot of documentaries on the Red Arrows and stuff. So when I find some on Saturday, I'll provide a link to one of the Red Arrows videos, and you can see them for yourself. All you have to do is look up in YouTube, Red Arrows display. There's one particular move, Mark, which is really impressive. I'll round up in a minute. I like a good waffle, don't I? And sort of regale with stories of British aircraft and stuff. There's a manoeuvre where like 1 or 2 pilots fly a straight line, and then up to 4 of the other Red Arrows like fly alongside in like this perfect thingy where they're all rotating, with all the colours flying out the back as well.
So they're almost like corkscrewing around the straight line. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, and for the 100-year celebration of the Royal Air Force, they actually did a manoeuvre where they wrote 100 in the sky as well.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, which obviously takes a lot of discipline, as well, because you have to fly in such an angle in tandem with everybody else to then link back with the start point as well, which
to make it look like
it's
easy,
but it's really not easy. It's really not. And they did it absolutely flawlessly for the Royal Air Force 100-year celebration, where literally 100 years of like British aircraft all flew down the Mall in London, and then over Buckingham Palace, all the royals and all that lot all watching it. Really impressive stuff. Really,
I bet.
It's one of them sort of like national pride moments, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
I'm not a big fan of the royal family, but the Royal Air Force are incredible. Let's just get that out there.
Yeah, right. I hear you.
Yeah. So right, we have surpassed the hour, Mark.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we've covered 2 drone stories apiece.
Yes, well, at least we got some drone news in there.
Yeah. So, like I say, I am going to round up in a moment. This Saturday, Mark's channel, please come join us for that, because we have the awesome Kev Craggs. I'm surprised he wasn't in tonight. Kev, shame on you if you're watching this back. Yeah, but he is awesome. He's going to be talking about the equipment he uses, and he's got a lot of nice camera equipment. And obviously he films a lot of behind the scenes stuff for my channel as well. A lot of live music. He goes to the Yardbirds and further flung locations, recording live bands and things, and he loads that stuff. We're going to be interviewing him on Saturday on Mark's channel, same time as well. It'll be like 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. UK time. So if you haven't subscribed to Mark, I know you can't do it in the chat, but his link is in the stream description down below. So John Spizzo, hello there.
Hey John.
We're just about to round up and disappear and leave you all to your lives. That's it. Yes. So thank you for joining us, John Spizzo. But feel free to watch the stream back on replay.
Right.
We try not to have one of them streams where it's just like, oh, I fancy going live, and does anyone want to come on the panel? And it's just general chat. How's everyone's day been? Oh, well, I had 3 slices of toast for breakfast. You know what I mean? One of them sort of things. We like to cover stories and basically make the stream very sort of watchable on the replay. You know what I mean? So please go back and watch it if you like.
Yes.
Yes, and if not, join us on Saturday, Mark's channel. I know I keep going on about it, but last Saturday went really well. I think there was like nearly 30 people in at one point, like for the majority of it.
Oh, it was great. It was a great stream.
The chat was flying. The questions from the chat was really good.
Yeah.
We're kind of hoping for a repeat of that this Saturday because we had a lot of fun on that, didn't we, Mark? It was really
we had a blast.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Yeah. Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Kevin's link in the chat again, a link to his channel. So this way, if anybody wants to take a look at anything that he's doing and maybe come join us Saturday night with any questions, any predetermined questions based on what you see, that would be greatly appreciated. Let me get rid of this, and I think this is it. And I'll test it. Oh, yep, that's it. There you go. Craig's channel is linked in the chat, so please have a look and join us on Saturday.
Nice. Yes. Thank you everyone for joining us. Brant Ariel says, another wonderful stream, guys. Thanks again.
Oh,
stay safe at home alone. Yes, indeed. Yes, I'm wishing everybody all the best. I know it's weird times we're going through at the minute. Just stay safe, don't go out unless you need to. Stick to the government guidelines and all that lot. And as a sort of a keen conspiracy theorist, for the most part, I wouldn't ever imagine myself saying that, but I think they are right on the money with this one. Just stay in, stay safe, stay hygienic, wash your hands, warm water, 20 seconds, all that lot. So, you're hearing it all the time, but I just want to make sure everybody gets through it, you know what I mean? Okay, right, I'm going to round it up there. Join us on Saturday, please. You already know the time, I've said it about 5 times already, and we'll catch you all on Saturday. Thank you, everybody. We love doing these Wednesday streams as well. Catch you all really soon. Mark, would you like to say your goodbyes quick?
Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining. See you on Saturday.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Farewell.